know that we all gonna be alright. We gon' make it through if it takes us all night. No matter what the odds may bring our way, I can see the blessings coming our way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way. Our way, our way. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's
Dre
Bre, and you're tuned into Work the Wave.
Hey guys,
We're back.
we're back. I think the last episode we did was October 22nd.
Not my fault, by the way.
It's a group thing. We are all here and doing things together in partnership. We don't put people out there and say it's one person's fault over the other.
I do. It's Dre. He don't love me as much as his other co-hosts.
That's not true. But we are back at it and we're super excited. Obviously, we're just chilling right now on the couch, very relaxed, very chill vibes. And we're enjoying ourselves. Bre has our iced coffee for those who can't see.
Shout out Corner Bakery.
They are not a sponsor of this episode, but Bre's an iced coffee lover. So if you ever want to give her a gift and like make her happy,
Starbucks is my favorite.
and then Paris baguettes,
Yeah, but a lot of people don't have that.
caramel iced coffee. That's Bre's love. So this episode, because it's our first one back and we've been gone for a while, we just wanted to kind of give a little updates on our life and what we've been doing, what we've been up to, what's transpired through these past few months, because we've done a lot of dope things and we have a lot of dope things that are coming up, from career wise to personal wise.
How about the fact that I'm 30 now?
Bre is 30. Last time, oh, you were 30 last time, but
Was I?
yeah, October
You said
22nd, but I think we
October.
recorded that episode before you were 30. So yes, Bre is 30. I'm officially dating an older woman.
I take naps, guys. I do.
Bre, when I first met her, she was the type of person that she was like always up, balls to the wall type of person. And she used to joke me and laugh at me and make fun of me because I take naps and I'd be
I
tired.
used to call him Grandpa.
And I'd be like, I don't want to do that. But now she's that person.
And I don't think it's that I'm 30. I think Dre has just rubbed off on me.
You're getting older.
Like I never, ever, 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 ever used to take naps on vacation because I'm like, no, you got to make the most out of your time. Like I want to do as many things I could do.
What do they say?
And
What's the thing in the
now-
grieving process? Like denial is like one of the things. She was in that stage for a long time. And I think she finally reached the moment to where she's like accepting that she is now a napper and wants to relax. Like we can't even get through movies at night and like shows
Yeah,
at
I've been
night.
so bad.
And
It
when I
makes me
first
feel
met
so
her,
terrible.
she would be up to like 4 a.m. all the time. Can't sleep, nothing like that. I
Yeah.
think I just helped provide a more peaceful life for her. And she is now like no care in the world and just sleeps peacefully. But
Yeah, I like that I sleep peacefully at night, but I really would like to, spend my time doing things versus napping. It does feel really good though. Dre is very comfortable. We fit like 2 puzzle pieces. Once he puts his arm around me, like there's a specific way that we lay where I'm like on my side and he like puts his leg through like my leg and then one arm's under me, one's on top and it's like right cuffed under like the boob and it's just right here and then I hold his hand right here and it's like done. I'm out like a light. That's all he has to do. And it could be any time of the day.
I remember one time I did that to her and I was like, you're going to see what us guys feel. And her arms start falling asleep. And she was like, hold on, get up. I'm like, nope. That's why we feel the way we feel.
Yeah,
When
poor
you
guys.
be laying on our arms just be dead. Sucks. But anyways, we're happy to be back. And we have started to, have a great consistent line of all the shows, and we want to add this one to it with showing up for you guys consistently. I hope you guys are watching Real Love Scenario and For the Girls. Both of them are now the format so where you can write in and ask questions, and we're going to start doing that here. Like if you have questions for us that are relationship focused, love focused, anything focused, just write us in and we'll be able to help you out with that.
Yeah.
But just jumping into some of the things that have happened while we have been gone and on this hiatus from the Worth the Wait show. Number one, and probably the biggest thing that involves both of us, is Red Table Talk.
Oh yeah.
Bre and I were on Red Table Talk with Jada, not Will, but Jada.
Jada is so stunning.
So we want to just talk about that because we know a lot of people seen it. Some people had questions, and we have our take on it. So we're just going to explain kind of the whole process of the Red Table Talk and how we got into it, how we got to do it, and then the time leading up to it, our experience doing it, and what we thought about everything that was put out. So starting leading up to the thing, we got an email from one of the producers of the show, Camille, who's awesome. Shout out Camille. I'll be trying to tag her social media, but she don't got social media. But she reached out to us via email and said that she had saw one of our videos on this channel. So shout out to you guys. We appreciate you guys for being a part of what we're doing and supporting us and watching, but because she saw that video, that's the reason that she reached out to us. But anyways, she reached out to us. We had a Zoom and had like a really great interview with a lot of the producers of the show. It was like 3 or 4 of them on there, and we had a really good time with that. And we explored our whole relationship of trauma and all that. Oh, sorry, I thought you were about to say something.
No, you got a crumb on your lip. We just ate, y'all.
Yeah, we just ate some food. But we sorry, we had a noise in our apartment. It kind of threw me off a little bit. But the episode of our videos that she saw was about us going through trauma and traumatic things, and you know, our upbringing and stuff like that. And that's what prompted her to reach out. We did an interview explaining the whole story, and they loved us, and they said, well, you know, after this experience, either we will have you guys Zoom in to the Red Table Talk, or we'll have you guys come out to the Red Table Talk and actually sit at the table. So Brie and I were excited about it, and I think we might have even kind of forgot about it after.
Yeah, because they took a while to follow up, so we just kind of assumed like, oh, well, maybe they don't want to move forward, and then bam, quick email.
I think it might have been like a Monday.
Yeah,
and they were
we had
like,
to leave on like Wednesday.
Could you come on like Wednesday or Thursday? And it was like, luckily we're in a position where we're like entrepreneurs and we have our own business and stuff like that, to where we could just jump at it like that. Even if I think you weren't an entrepreneur, for that opportunity, you'd be like, listen, job,
I'm sick.
I'm sick.
Go.
I gotta, something's happening. Like,
but see, the thing that was the hardest was they wanted us to wear bright colors.
the hardest for her.
So, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have 2 days, which like in order for us to leave and be gone and not deal with stuff, I essentially needed to work one of those days and like handle client stuff so that I could be free to prepare for the trip and then enjoy the trip and not work on the trip. So I really had 1 day to go to the mall and pull bright colored stuff. And it was so painful for me.
It was. For those who don't know, Britta's not a fan of color. She's black, white, neutrals.
I do look so pretty in color though.
You do.
I don't know why. I don't like it.
She doesn't.
I don't like it. It like makes my skin crawl. I'm like, ugh, where's my black? Give me a good cream. I don't like gray though. Like gray's not like, I workout wise, yes. But like if I want to go somewhere, I'm not gonna wear gray. I like white, black, and like
all gray
creams.
right now.
This is like blue gray. And again, it's lounge. I like gray loungewear, but I don't shop for gray colored like everyday life clothes. Anyways, we spent a crap ton of money on getting all of these different colored things. We had to like send pictures. Well, you too. You went.
Oh yeah. Well, I ended up wearing something that I already had though.
Well, yeah, but we spent a whole day at all these stores and had all these bags and all these clothes, and then brought them all with us for them to pick something that Dre already owned anyway, so he didn't have to go to the mall. And then they picked, if you guys saw the episode, can we like put a photo here? Bam, put the photo or a video. Dre, you do it for Mona. I don't know. Anyways, he's gonna show you somehow. This is the beautiful yellow blazer dress that they picked, and y'all, I told Camille when she was trying to pick out what I was wearing, I was like, I mean, well, that one is the most expensive. So like I'll wear it if I have to. But I mean, it was like a $350 blazer dress.
It was nice though.
If y'all know me, I'm cheap. I was like, I do not want to keep this blazer
nice
dress. It was beautiful. It looked really pretty on me. But we went into filming and then we saw the other couple and they were wearing neutrals. I was like, Camille. She was like, I know they didn't have anything else. I was like, we didn't either.
Obviously, you see what Bree's main concern was when it came to this thing. Um, but getting back to the timeline of the thing, so we packed, did everything like that, and the great thing is that it was a top notch like experience. Made you really feel like a star, you know.
Yeah, they did that thing right.
They paid for a black, you know, SUV to pick us up from our home, take us to the airport. Of course, paid for our flights, then paid for our car from the airport to Calabasas where we were shooting. They gave us food, money for food while we were there. And then even while we were there, our trailer like was dope. It like
the
had
trailer
its own
was
bathroom.
so
It had a
cute.
shower. It was stocked with snacks,
Every type of
and
sparkling water you
drinks.
could think of.
It was great. We only kind of negative with that trip was we went probably on the hottest day.
Yeah, there was a heat
It was
wave.
like a heat wave. It had to be.
How
it was like
hot was it? It was like
110.
yeah, I have to say
They said it felt like
112.
110, 112.
Dre and I, when we first got to the hotel and checked in, we were like, there's all these restaurants and stuff literally like just a block away. So we were like, let's just go walk and get something to eat. We were huffing and puffing. Like,
We stopped at the first restaurant.
yeah, we didn't
saw.
care. We were like, here, like, help us, feed us, please. Because we just didn't want to walk any further. And then on the way back, I mean, we were like drenched in sweat. It was really hot. We were like looking at each other, like
This is
sad
bad.
faces, like,
I don't
where
even.
are
I don't
we?
even think the restaurant was that good either.
No,
like we were
it
just
wasn't.
at least that first. The second one was good.
Yeah,
the seafood one.
seafood spot.
But that first one, we were just kind of like, this is
It wasn't
a
great.
lot. Like it was super duper hot. But the actual Red Table Talk experience was really cool. With me being in production, I thought that it was just like fascinating to see a production of that level. You're talking about like 12 or 13 like different cameras.
Yeah.
And I, for my production, use like, for Don't Call Me White Girl, use 3 cameras.
Yeah.
For our shows with Real Love Scenario and for the girls, and even this one camera. So like to see that was really dope. The lighting and then every part of the production was really cool on my standpoint. Everybody there was super nice.
Yeah,
and
it was
really sweet.
good, like customer service.
For sure. Like we got a little golf cart ride to and
was
from
fun.
the trailer to the actual shoot. We were on actually the Smith family estate, so that's not fake. They do shoot it
Can I
at
explain
their
it?
estate. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we pulled up, and you guys know we got married in the DR. So the best thing that I could like, I guess,
Equate it
compare
to.
it to is like being in a destination, like private villa, almost like resort, where like when you pull in through the gates, there was a guy out there with like a gun, right?
Yeah, they
it
had
was like-
security.
yeah, they looked ready to go for whatever. But anyways, you can't tell like that you're at a place. All you see is like a gate and the guys. Once the gate opens, it's like a drive. What is that noise?
I don't know.
That is wild. Sorry if you guys can hear that. But once you come in, there were like little like casitas, like little houses with like a few cars, and we didn't know what they were. We're like, okay, we're just looking. Then we get to this area where there was like gravel, like rocks, and the trailers, and it was a bunch of cars and school buses. We were like, what is going on?
Yeah, I don't know actually how big the estate is. It was just like, it's kind of like a little city when you get in there. Yeah, it was really cool. And you knew, like, you question, like, do they actually live here? But then while we were shooting, we saw Will's oldest son, Trey, and he was just like in some basketball shorts and just like chilling.
Well, that's so where the trailers were, like picture maybe like 25, 30 feet away. That's where like the garage, or not the garage, that's where the driveway was, where there was like 2 different houses. One was like a guest house. The other one was like the big house that had like a wraparound driveway. So that was their house. And then the outhouse, not the outhouse, the guest house, that's where the Red Table Talk is set up. So that's like where it was like a theater room where like they had people waiting. The camera crew was back there. They had the production like up on the big screen, and it was super cool. They had like a bunch of cameras and not cameras, computers, where it's like all these different screens, and you could see all the different angles that they were capturing, which was really cool. It was cords everywhere. And then when you leave from the theater, it was like a dining room, right?
I'm
Like
not sure.
like a kitchen slash dining room. It was just like things randomly in there. And then where we actually filmed at, it was, I think, like the living room space, right?
Might have been. Everything was just all
It was
production
just a
stuff.
big
So
guest house, essentially.
yeah, it was really cool just being there and
The
experiencing
lights
that.
and the way that they had it set up was cool too. Because like the table was in the middle of nowhere, and then it was just like a bunch of people, but the people you couldn't see because they had like string lights and like different like backdrops and stuff.
Yeah, the way they set it up from a production standpoint is for you not to really even see the crew that's back there. It's just you sitting at the table. And the cool thing is that like when you get actually when it's like, all right, it's time to go, you're about to walk in. We didn't even know it was starting. It was just kind of like everybody got up, came, gave us hugs.
Oh yeah, I was
And it was
confused.
like, and then we just started talking. Like Jada was like, "So where are you from?" And Bree answered that, and I answered, and then we just started talking. And then when she asked a question about trauma, we were like, "Oh,
I was like, oh, we're filming.
oh, we're doing this." Like she didn't actually say that, but like in our heads, we
I
were
did
like,
say that.
"No, you didn't.
Yes, I sure did. I was like, oh, it started.
No, you didn't."
Yes, I did.
I don't remember you saying that because I remember us both looking like, "Oh, it started," but I didn't. I don't remember you saying that. I don't think you said that. But they ended up.
said that.
You had to stop because your hair was. You said that when we stopped. You didn't say that actually when she was talking to you. You said that when they had to adjust your thing for your hair. You were like, I didn't even know that
I was
we
like,
started.
I didn't know we were filming or like we started. She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, well.
Yeah, I remember you said that once when they had to stop because your hair was messing up the mic, but not actually because you were.
Yeah.
Not actually when we were filming. So through the process, we sat down at the table for like an hour and
Can we first
15
talk about like
minutes.
our actual experience meeting her?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm like, you're skipping over the most important part, Jada.
I said we gave everybody a hug.
So no, that's not. For me, time stopped. I've never like Jada's never been someone who was on my list of like people that I want to meet. Like it wasn't someone who I thought I would like fangirl over or be like over the moon, jumping for joy, like, oh my God, I love you. So it caught me off guard when I met her, and I'm sure you guys have all encountered somebody like this in your life where you can just feel like the positive energy. Like she was just like radiant, like perfection.
She was glowing.
She was so like, I've seen her in pictures and you know, in movies and things, and like she's a beautiful woman, but y'all, she is a beautiful woman. Like it just radiates from her. I was just so I hugged her and I was like, oh my God, you're so cute. She was like, you're so cute. And we just had a little like girl moment. And once we sat down, like Dre said, when she started talking, when we were filming and when we knew we were filming, which was after the mics and stuff were adjusted, it didn't feel like we were on like a show. It didn't feel like we were being interviewed. It was definitely very like conversation driven, organic. Like we were just chatting and talking. And so time flew by. She had one of the producers was like, hey Jada, like we're at like 45 minutes or something, like we gotta go. And she continued, she was like, okay, just give us a little bit more time, and we kept filming. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize we've been sitting here for that long. It went by super, super fast, which means we talked about a lot of things. And we can get into what you guys ended up seeing or what the actual episode was, because, you know, we knew going into it that it was going to be cut up and there were only going to be snippets of the interview because we filmed for, like Dre said, an hour. And I think our episode, like our feature was what, like 7 minutes?
Yeah, it was around like 7-8 minutes, something like that. When it came to the episode. But yeah, the overall, everybody when we were there was sweet. Jada, Dr. Alfie, Cheryl, Burke, who was part of the episode, Gammy, and even the couple that was there with us, Justin and Shay.
They weren't on set with us. They went before us.
They went after us.
After us.
Before us on the show, but after us when we actually film. But overall, I think Jax is another one of the producers. Like overall, the experience was great. I think we met like one of Jada's childhood friends too, and she said she enjoyed the conversation. Like everybody really enjoyed it. Some people were saying it was like one of their favorite like sit downs and stuff like that. And we discussed a lot
Yeah.
sitting at the table and doing that. And I think overall, going through that experience was something that was definitely something that we'll always remember throughout our time. I know that we'll continue to do different things through our different growth and as we grow in our platforms and stuff like that. But that's something that I will always take away and learn, just the experience of going there. And I think that also having that experience of when we want to do things like that or reach a level of being able to have certain guests or do certain things the way that we were treated, I really like that as an example and blueprint for how to treat your guests and make them feel special. Of course, you got to have some money to come with that, but I think
And
the experience was great.
everything leading up to it too. We've done a lot of similar things like this, and sometimes the organization and the communication of things are like so messy, and it can be like an inconvenience because you don't know what's going on or like what to expect or what to do. Having Camille as our point of contact, she was super like same day responses. She allowed us to text her if we had questions, call her, FaceTime her, whatever. She was like super, super attentive and
Yeah.
made me feel very comfortable in terms of like what was going on and what was happening. So that was really great.
For sure. So we got back. We ate it. Also, I don't remember the name. I would love to shout it out, but it was like this nice little oyster bar in Calabasas, and like the Calabasas Town Center. It was like really good. We went there twice. But
It was
that
called
was
Blue something blue.
it was a very like
It was good. We
common
went
name.
2 days, 2 nights in a row because we
Yeah.
really liked it.
But it was like an in and out like experience, and they, like I said, pay for everything on the way back. You know, some people they'll be like, "Oh, we'll get you here the way back. You on your own." But they even pay for our Uber back from the airport to the car back from the airport back to our house. So that was top notch. So then it's probably like a month or so later, right? Because it dropped in.
The way we found out was so funny too. Well, I guess the way I found out.
How'd you find out?
Walking into the building and the front desk guy being like, yo,
Oh, that's like no.
yeah.
That's not how you found out it dropped. There's no way that I would know and then not tell you. Yeah, I told you because I sent you all the stuff before it even dropped, like all the promos and
You
stuff
sent
like
me
that.
promos, but I didn't know it was, I didn't see the episode before he said what he said.
You did.
No.
She got bad memory. But we once the episode dropped, we got the promos, got the pictures, all that stuff like that, and essentially it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. Working in production, knowing that obviously the episode is about trauma. The Red Table Talk is a platform that's really geared towards transparency and telling these stories, and obviously having a bit of dramatic effect to bring out, you know, the story and what the actual trauma was. So basically we had about, like I said, an hour and 15-minute conversation, and that was kind of condensed down to about 8 minutes of conversation. And I think the biggest takeaway from those who watched it and watched the story and watched the video and everything that we talked about is what we were really talking about as far as a trauma standpoint was really from the early beginnings of our relationship. Like maybe like the first year of our relationship. And at that point when we filmed Red Table Talk, depending on when you're watching this, we are already like 5 or 6 years into our relationship from there. But I think that in that would be the only thing that I would say probably wasn't obvious to those who were watching, is that when we were talking about the trauma that we had dealt with and I was giving my response of the things that I had felt and the things that I was feeling, it wasn't about necessarily current situations. It was more about things that happened in the beginning of our relationship.
Yeah, I think Dre was more prepared, I guess, for like the episode or like what it was going to share. Because snippets were pulled without context, I, for like the first 3 days, was in my feels a little bit. So I was like, oh my God, people are going to think I'm this like gold digger, emotionalist, like mean, like, you know, it came across different than I would have liked, but what I ended up, remembering and realizing is most of the people who are going to watch this who know us personally have been a part of our journey from day one. So they've been able to see the growth and know that the things that we were talking about then are not happening right now. They're more past situations. And for people who don't know, I was like, regardless, it's a good opportunity. And if they see it and learn about our brand and things from that opportunity, hopefully they'll be able to learn more about us and understand our story a little bit more. But it's also good to have that experience to know that if we ever do something similar, like on TV or whatever, that, the story is going to be told how they want it to be told. And that's just, something that's good to know, I guess. Because everything else that we've done up until that point has been more like news or like TV show, like actual live things, like the thing with Megan Good and Devon, like it wasn't edited. It was just like a live situation. So it was definitely a learning experience for me. And I'm still glad that we did it, of course. It was a great experience.
Yeah, overall, I think that transparency in relationships helps people. And that's what Red Table Talk is about. It's talking about those transparent moments in relationships. Even, people are so critical of, let's say, Jada and Will. And I guarantee you, I was talking to one of my friends about this. I'm like, yo, I guarantee you, if you open up all the secrets and all the blemishes and everything of like a 20 or 30-year marriage, you're going to see a lot of stuff that you're going to be like, oh, that's crazy. Oh, you dealt with that? You really put up with that? Or that's what happened? Like, they are just more open and transparent on their platforms with the things that they have dealt with in their marriage. But
yeah, and I commend that because there needs to be more of that. This like picture perfect stereotype, that people have of marriages is silly to me. And it's also the reason why I think that a lot of people don't want to go into marriages, because they don't talk about the bad in a way where you get to see full circle the relationship, if that makes sense. It's like you just hear like, oh, someone cheated, versus actually understanding the dynamic of that relationship and how long that couple has been together and the things that they've gone through. So I think that them sharing all the good and the bad is really great, and people get on them for that. And I think it's not fair, because you have to be brave to do that, put that stuff out there.
yeah, I mean, even you see in a less open manner, but reading between the lines, you seeing now that Michelle is dropping her second book, that she's being more transparent about her relationship with Barack and the different things that they are going through and have gone through and how difficult it was, and her talking about how she didn't like him for a few years, or it's if you've been married that long and you've gone through things, like even Brie and our relationship, I feel like is the best it's ever been at this moment. And we've gone through a lot in the past, but we haven't had kids yet. We haven't gone through a move yet. We haven't bought a house yet. Like, there's so many different stages within our relationship that we haven't yet, approached. We haven't decided if we're sending our kid to public school or private school or college or not. Like, all these things are just different chapters that
we're gonna call it soda or pop.
We're gonna call it soda.
Pop.
So they're gonna be confused how they're gonna call their grandfather and a Sprite the same thing.
Oh, I forgot we do call pop.
See how we decided that? Real easy.
You're a hater.
But yeah, it's just so many things in a marriage that you have to overcome. So it's like there's always going to be turbulence, like throughout different relationships. So you can't blame somebody for having that, or get mad at somebody or judge somebody for being transparent about those things. So overall, great experience with Red Table Talk. A lot of supporters and people who send us so many kind words, and we thank you for that. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. But, we're moving on strong and learning from that experience. So after that, second thing is, because we're here and you guys have heard us reference this noise a lot, I just think it just makes sense to mention it at this point, is that our apartment had flooded. It was like the Titanic.
It was really scary.
It was really bad. And it was like, do you want to go through what actually happened?
Well, normal Wednesday, I was doing my self-care routine, had a little facial on my face, and I had my phone out. I was filming a IG story, thanking Mimi for my little facial kit, and the alarm starts going off. And typically,
Fire
this is
alarm.
so bad, and please don't do this just because we do this. But when our fire alarm goes off, we typically never leave the building. Like, Dre will step out in the hall, make sure, it's all good. And he was in property management.
I was a property manager.
management. So he
I
knows.
know, like, the fire alarm just be going off sometimes. Like, these buildings, we live in a high rise that has like 30 something floors. Like, these buildings aren't going down by fire. Like, the sprinkler system, there are no gas lines in these buildings. They're all concrete. It's not a stick build. Even there could be a fire on floor 8 and a fire alarm won't even go off on 20 because it just ain't gonna reach 20. So most time a fire alarm goes off, it's not a real fire or something slight.
So this time he was like, we looked at each other. He was like, let me just go check it out. So he leaves. I'm doing my little video. And all of a sudden, because y'all know I wear glasses, so I can't see, like, if you're like anything that's 5 feet past me is like a blur vision. So I get confused and scared. I like drop my phone because I'm like, is it raining inside of our window? Like, it looked like it was raining outside, but the water was coming inside. So I get closer and I'm like, oh my God, it's literally pouring rain from our window, and we have high floor to ceiling windows. You can see one of them right there. So it just starts pouring rain, and I look out and it's doing it in the window out here too, like right where our couch and everything is at. So Dre's not in here, and y'all, when I say I had the worst, like, just I had a flash or like a vision of Dre being out there trying to check on things, and like water just start coming down, and him trying to come back to the apartment for me, but people like moving, and like he gets rushed and he's like, but my wife, and I'm like in here like, Dre, and then we all just die. Like, that was the vision that I had. So I don't know why I thought the best thing to do was to get on my knees and like basically scream. I'm like, Dre, oh my God. And then I'm like, okay, I got to do something. So I started moving all the stuff that was getting wet. Then by that time, I think I like ran to the door and was trying to like call for you. I don't know. I think I called him on the phone.
I went out. I went to the stairwell.
Out.
I saw some water, and then I heard like a shh. So then I walked up the stairs, and I was like, okay. And then I saw like water on the ground, but I could hear shh. And then I opened the door to where the rooftop was, and it was like pouring down, like crazy pouring down. And I was like, oh, okay, either the pool or the sprinkler head. Looks like the sprinkler head. Now, mind you, I was a property manager. I've dealt with this before. I've dealt with a rooftop flooding and it affecting the apartments below. So in my head, I'm running through. I know all the procedures. I know it's not going to be that big of a deal. Like, it's going to be cool. Like, we'll be fine. But I get down here to Bre, and she's like freaking out when I get here.
I was taking everything that was like 2 feet and under, like picking it up and like putting it up on like high places.
So I was like, all right, we just need to grab all the valuables, like the stuff that, of course, insurance will reimburse, but it's like, you don't want to wait, like my cameras, lights, you don't want to wait for that stuff. So we grab all that, take it, and leave, and then
wait, don't say take it and leave.
Hold on, I didn't get to that. Hold on, I know what you're getting to, but then I told Bre, I was like, just pack a bag just in case, because we're not going to be able to stay here. They're going to put us up in an apartment.
I
and
could
all that
not
stuff
think
like
straight.
That. She was just like throwing stuff.
I'm like, what do I pack?
So we need to have, like, especially once we have kids, like an evacuation, like
ready to go
drills. Like, we need to run drills, like Dwight in the fire safety video for The Office. We need to like have a drill and get her on point, because she was not in the moment of crisis. She was not sharp. It was like a D plus in that moment of crisis.
It was bad.
So especially if I'm not here and it's just her and the kids, I don't want her looking at the kids and they both screaming at each other. Like, and then they all trying to call me to ask you what to do. So we need to prepare a little bit better.
It was scary.
But the worst part of it is that we had to walk down 20 something flights of stairs.
So we're on 26,
with all of our stuff.
But there's a flight of stairs, a landing, and a flight of stairs per floor. So we basically went, 26 plus 26? 52. We went down 52 flights of stairs with a big suitcase in one hand, a big suitcase in the other hand. We had Dre had a book bag on the front, book bag on the back. I had my purse in one. Oh no, we put the purse around Dre's neck, I think, because my arm was going numb. I was like, I can't carry it. So we put it on his neck. And we're just like going down these stairs. We're sliding. Dre almost busted his butt. Oh my gosh. I was so scared. I was like, be careful. I was so scared, y'all. It was literally like Titanic. There was just water all on the stairs, and we were just like trying to make it down to the lowest level, and it just felt like it took forever. So we were out of our apartment for a week when they put us in like a different apartment. The Wi-Fi sucked, so like us trying to get our work done was terrible. We basically were on like vacation when we shouldn't have been. Yeah. And right when this happened, I think we were so like, it's like, what do you do in a situation like this? We just like got lit at like this margarita spot, El Bebe. We just had a bunch of margaritas and we just had a good time.
We really liked it.
It was really good.
So we were out of our apartment for about a week, and now we're back and things are getting themselves together. So just that was kind of an update with the noise that we've been referencing this
They're
episode.
They're obviously fixing something upstairs.
Upstairs, yeah. So, well, that's that. A few more things just to talk about our updates. Oh, CultureCon was something that we went to and was really, really dope. It was actually on Bree's 30th birthday. Shout out to my wife for allowing me to go to this thing on her birthday. So CultureCon is a creative conference for really, I would say, Black creatives who are interested in entrepreneurship and just doing creative things. Shout out to Amani Ellis. She's the one who owns it and started it, and an amazing Black woman who's doing great things. Shout out to all Black women. Super inspiring, and she's inspiring to me as well. I had the opportunity to tell her that, which is awesome. But CultureCon was a great experience. I was there speaking on relationships, and they reached out to me via Instagram initially, but then emailed me to ask me to speak on the main stage for one of the panels. And it's so funny because once I saw the date, I was like, ugh, that is the day of Bree's birthday.
This isn't just any like,
yeah, it was 30th.
Talking. No, I'm just talking about my birthday. I'm talking about this isn't like any speaking engagement. Let me just give y'all the lineup real quick. So Dre spoke with, I'm sorry, I want to do it. Dre spoke on stage with Tayshia Adams, who is my favorite bachelorette of all friggin' time. I have watch parties here every week when we watch the show. So me and Mimi and Shahana, we are like in love with Tayshia. She was our favorite. And so when we found out it was Tayshia, it was supposed to be Nia Long, right? Originally?
No.
Who was
Not
it?
on the thing with me.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways. So it was Tayshia who he was on stage with. Right before him was Taraji.
No, it was... What's her? Diana Ross' daughter.
Tracy Ellis Ross.
Tracy Ellis Ross, yes.
And Taraji went before her. It was Taraji, then Tracy Ellis Ross. And then right after them was Megan Good.
And Kendrick.
And who?
Kendrick.
Who was that?
Remember About Tiffany's, that show, that movie we watched where he had the daughter and the girl with the bagel with the pastry shop and the rings got switched up? Remember?
Yeah, I know.
He's the main character. The guy.
I don't remember
the light-skinned black guy.
I don't remember the guy.
Remember, you were like, you saw him and he waved to us.
Insecure.
So he waved to us as we were standing there. He was like, "Hey, what's going on, guys?" And we was like, "Hey." And Bree, I was like, "You don't know who that is?" I was like, "He playing an Insecure." And then she goes and says to him, "Oh, from Insecure." He's like, well, she like points and like
he
yells.
happened to hear her.
She was like, "Oh, from Insecure."
And he looked back and he looked thrilled that I recognized.
She was like, yeah.
Like, yeah, that's me. I was like, well, it takes me a while,
It was just funny because she was just like, "Oh, from Insecure." Like after she said hi,
I had no idea who he was.
He was like, "Hey," and we were like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was like, "You know who that is, right?" She was like, "Nah." I was like, "Yeah, remember we played Insecure? He was with Issa." She was like, "Oh, for Insecure." He's just like, "Yeah, that's me." But it was a dope experience. I think luckily that I was going to be on stage with Tayshia because Bree's a big Bachelorette fan, that waiting to, her letting me do this on
No, I would. There's no.
but I'm just saying that was an added
option
bonus
of me being like, no, it's my birthday.
That was an added bonus to that. And then especially going somewhere where it's like we were in the speaker lounge most of the time, so we got to meet a lot of different cool people. Other speakers there were like Sam J and, like I said, Taraji and
Dre did his photo shoot in the same room with Taraji basically at the same time, which was really cool. I was like, that's Taraji right there. I could have touched her if I just went like this. She was right there.
Yeah, it was a dope experience. People asked me how it was, and I was like, being on stage was cool, and that was like 20 minutes of the process, but just being in the environment and experiencing it all, I felt like was better. Of course, being in speaker lounge, we got complimentary drinks and all that stuff. That's always great, but getting to meet everybody and network was even better. We met a lot of dope people and a lot of people that we are connecting with even still to this day. And mainly too is that I grew up with a celebrity crush.
I was just about to say this.
And her name was Megan Good, is Megan Good. And that was always a thing. So even at that moment, I was like, when I saw the lineup and I was like, yo, we're coming on stage. Like, she's right after us. So we're definitely going to.
She was staying, like, so I was behind stage. Well, I was in the audience for a short period. That's when Dre shouted me out and said happy birthday. And I did this like president wave and blew kisses at the people. Like, what is wrong with me? But anyways, I went backstage and that's when Megan was sitting there and she was watching them the whole time. And so if Dre was not married, I definitely think he would have pulled Megan that day, because this girl, first of all, Megan, y'all know she a little cutie, but she was a little too friendly with Dre. We need to pop the video right here. She like licked her lips and like did the smirk and put her yes lips. She did. Roll the clip. Yes, she did. She licked her lips and then put her head on his shoulder and she got real comfy. And I was the one taking the video?
I think on the side, yeah, because the other girl took the picture.
And I'm just behind the thing, like, because, I'm like, Dre, go, get it, boo. Put your arm around it. Like, that's your celebrity crush. You better do that. I was not letting him leave without getting with her. And I just wasn't expecting the level of friendliness that she gave. And looking back at the video, I was like, dang, if you could have just stayed, waited for her to get off, and I guarantee she would have something. Dinner gave you a number something, because she was feeling Dre. I was like, oh,
I don't know about all that.
Yes, she was.
It was a dope experience. Just it's not just of course it's a parents thing, but more just seeing her journey and admiring the way that she has gone about things. Even I think having somebody like her as, let's say, a celebrity crush, and this goes like Cousin Skeeter days, so we're talking about a long time ago.
It's Cousin Skeeter.
You didn't watch kid shows growing up, but like to see it's one thing to have like somebody who's like a crush and somebody that you like from a vanity standpoint, a lustful standpoint, but as a person, I started to learn more as I got older, her as a person and her journey with her ex-husband, Devon Franklin, and the waiting for marriage. And
which we didn't even bring that up to her.
Even her, it was just a quick passing, but even her, I think relationship with Thomas Jones, I think it was the running back for the Bears that she was with at one point. But just hearing her journey and her story, it's like, that's somebody, even outside of a vanity lust standpoint, that you're like, that's a really good person. You could like tell.
Oh, so you like
that
her
she
for
stands for good things.
Good to
but
know.
For me, it's not like a weird thing. It's like, I'm pretty sure as I grow in what I'm doing, that it's possible I'll meet her again, and it's not like some weird like fandom, like I can't talk or anything like that. But it was just nice to be able to. I've seen her actually multiple times, but nice to be able to just like actually have a moment, take a picture and stuff like that. It just made the whole experience even more great of an experience. So
we should have pulled the video up of the four of us. Like, look, that was us. Because
Bree was trying to do a lot. She was like, "You should tell her this," and I'm like, "Nah, man, we chilling,
Mr. Cool Guy.
We chilling."
I don't care about being cool, okay?
Obviously. But yeah, overall experience was great. They took care of us, and like I said again, if you don't know who she is, shout out Amani. I think Amani Ellis is her name. Yeah, Amani Ellis. She's the CEO of CultureCon, and she just put together a dope thing. Like it takes a
really
lot
cool.
of work. Like there was activation stages,
And it was in New
bringing
York City. Do you know how hard it is to do an event in New York City and it be that organized
magnitude.
and that big? And it was really cool. It was a
Yeah.
great production. I had a blast.
Yeah.
Shout out to the
Blake, too,
bartender,
for,
okay? Because
hosting that.
the unlimited drinks was on point. It helped me celebrate my 30th. And can we just shout me out? Because something, I don't know if it was the 30th birthday, but
was
your
stunning that
girl,
day.
I was looking fabulous, okay? Like head to toe. Your girl was snatched, booty was fat, hair was laid, inches on, okay? It was giving.
Bree looked really good that day. She was stunning. She looked like
I got so many compliments, girls and guys. I was like, well.
And she wore color that day.
I did. I had on mint green. Can we pop a picture?
Oh my gosh, you doing
I have a lot
of
of
work for me in the post.
requests.
But yeah, so maybe you should wear more color. But after that, so that was CultureCon. That was a great time. So we also celebrated one of our friends' wedding.
Rachel,
Jeremy and Rachel, and that was in Mexico. So that was our first, really after, I don't want to miss anybody. No, we went to my brother's, but like destination, like we specifically told our friends, like, listen, we put
Please
on
do
a
destination.
dope wedding.
Let
Everybody
us
enjoyed
experience
themselves.
it.
We want to attend some destination weddings
Yeah,
now.
and two of our friends gypped us.
Yeah, they didn't need.
They went to the
did
courthouse and just got married, and then no, both of them. They
Yep,
both
they
did.
did. They
One
both.
was supposed to have a Mexico wedding. The other one was supposed to have a Jamaica wedding.
Yep.
And they just said, "Forget that. Forget us and our feelings and our experiences."
Right.
So thank you, Rachel.
We had to wait a long time, but Jeremy and Rachel came through, did it the right way. The resort was Garza Blanca in Cancun.
Garza Blanca.
And it was just a great experience. Like I always love going to weddings of like friends because everybody there is really your age. Like you have some family there, grandparents, aunts, uncles, stuff like that. But for the most part, everybody there is like your age. So you get to just turn up, have fun, experience the time. And then the resort, it was like really nice. The customer service was great. But you also like, it wasn't packed, which was like really cool. It wasn't like a ton of people there.
It like had just opened.
Yeah. And actually Bree is running it back in March with her aunt. And we'll get into that story because that's a whole nother episode. We'll talk about that the next episode
Talk about what? You're not making it.
The relationship of like how that trip kind of shifted our relationship. So Bree's going back to Garza Blanca, back to that resort. And we're going to get into that the next episode. And really just talk about like what we went through that trip. It really kind of shifted our relationship. I would say for the better, but the experience in Mexico wasn't the best experience. As pertains to Bree and I and the relationship with alcohol. So we're going to tackle a whole nother episode on that because that's a major thing that we dealt with throughout our relationship, like the relationship with alcohol and how that affects your relationship just in general with one another. So we're going to dive into that. But overall, it was just a great trip. Great to be able to have some warm weather when it's cold everywhere else. And like I said, it was just fun experiencing time with friends and not family necessarily, but meeting Jeremy and Rachel's family was cool, but it was just an overall fun experience. So we really enjoyed ourselves with that.
I'm just team destination weddings. It's just, there's nothing better.
Yes. And lastly, for those who always ask and want to know, we're going to have kids.
Somebody asked that?
People always ask us this, when are we having babies? We're going to have babies. Maybe if you're watching this, this is now January 20 or February 2023. In the next year, 2, 3, we're going to have some babies.
I say 2, 3.
Year 2, 3. And you know, we're trying to figure out, and so if you have any ideas in the comments, trying to figure out other places that we could possibly live to. Like we love our area here. We love the DMV. It's so many things that's in the surrounding area, but we lately have been exploring just like the idea of living in other places or having other places. But I think our consensus is that we want it to be warm. Bree likes Four Seasons, but we like some place that looks nice.
I like palm trees.
Yeah,
Like,
so it has to be somewhere warm if there's going to be palm trees.
it'll look real crazy if someone's driving down our street and there's our house with fake palm trees or something. Be like, what? I love palm trees, but I don't want to live in Florida or California, so I don't know what.
Well, I think we settled down on Texas, Florida, or California. So
I don't like Texas.
if you have any ideas or thoughts or places that you're like, oh, you should look at this place, this is really nice, let us know. Obviously, we're going to be parents at some point, so we're trying to take in consideration school systems, the area, the people. That's the one thing we love here the most, is that the people are like really
yeah,
great.
I don't want to leave my friends.
So we enjoy our experience and our time here, and just looking at different ideas of other places to live. But outside of that, I think that is pretty much all of our updates and things that have happened during this time up to now. And we're excited to be more consistent and get back into things so that you guys can hear from us, and we download all of our knowledge and experience from different things we had dealt with in our relationship. So, and also if you want to write into us, just go to the Relationship Restore website and you can write in and request a topic, or you can give us your like actual scenario and we can give you advice on that scenario. So just go to contact us and click worth the wait.
Yes.
You have anything else to add?
No, I was thinking, and I'm like, no, I don't think I have anything.
Yeah, we're doing well. So we appreciate you guys and all the love. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Also, write any reviews on the podcast app just to let us know like that you love the show. 5 stars will be awesome. And we love you guys and appreciate everybody who's followed our journey back from 2018 when we started doing this YouTube stuff. To now. We appreciate everybody who has been a part of our journey and been a part of our process as we have continued to grow and learn and gain perspective on relationships. And we pray that you continue to support us in the future. So we love you guys, and peace.